Money FM 89.3. Best of Friday Night Live. Thank Fitness It's Friday.
Welcome to Thank Fitness It's Friday. It's me, Dan Koh, and Neil Humphreys on the Friday Night Live. Now, Neil, you've been on a lot of talks in schools.
Yes.
And what I noticed about you is not just how great you talk and how handsome you look on stage, but how bad your posture is, Neil.
Yep.
That's got to change, because I shook my head the moment you sent me the video on Instagram. It was terrible.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I don't know how many of you have heard this, before. If your shoulders are rounding, your back is slouching, or just basically when your head is dropping when you're walking. Someone in your life, perhaps your mom or dad, has probably yelled at to you, sit up straight.
1,000,000 times.
Yeah. And you think to yourself, sitting up straight feels like a willpower thing. It feels like you got to be conscious about it. You got to constantly just put in effort to hold yourself up. And here's the thing, Neil. In reality, there's some truth to it. Because a lot of mental and physical effort goes into sitting up straight. So it's unrealistic to sustain that position for an extended amount of time. Which is why you shouldn't always sit down in front of your desk for hours. Because obviously you're going to start to compromise your posture, right? While mindfulness is some of it, our posture is generally a product of how we live our lives. And for yourself, I think it says a lot about how you live.
Very true, very true. And in my defense,
Yes.
I am very tall. So I have spent
Yeah.
most of my life stooping to talk, not metaphorically, but
Yep.
physically talk down to people.
Yep.
Because otherwise they can't often hear me and I can't often hear them, especially if they're children.
Neil, I have one thing and one thing only for you.
Yes.
Don't let what other people think affect the way you live your life.
Thank you, Dan. I will treasure that advice for life.
You're welcome.
Carry on.
Okay. All right. So, unfortunately, that also means that, many of us have less than ideal posture, whether it's because we sit at a desk all day, we look at our phones all day, or maybe even play a particular sport, right? Wrong posture, or maybe just wrong form. It is still something that's worth paying attention to, because it's going to bite back, trust me. The moment you hit your 50s, 60s, it's going to start to hit you. You're complaining of lower back pain. You're complaining
Huge.
of stiff neck. It comes back to you, all right? So maintaining a proper posture from head to toe can help you to avoid these unnecessary pain, prevents injury, and overall also help you to move well. So let's first understand what is posture. Now, posture is basically the alignment of your body at rest or during a movement. And it's more than just pulling your shoulders back, Neil. Good posture involves a neutral spine, balanced muscle engagement, and proper alignment of joints. So this allows for efficient movement, reduces wear and tear on your body, and ultimately prevents pain. So, what does the ideal posture look like? A good posture is a spectrum rather than just one set position. But if I were to generalize, a good posture to everyone, looking to stack the head over the shoulders over your hips, the hips over your ankles. So basically what I want you to imagine is just a straight line coming down from the ceiling that should hit you in your earlobe, the tip of your shoulder, and the side of your pelvis, all in a straight line. So if you feel like you can keep that position for a while, that means that you're able to sustain a good posture. If not, naturally, if you feel like that isn't your normal position, then obviously you've got a bad posture. So now that we've tried that simple experiment, how do you feel?
Yeah, better. I mean, you're absolutely right on this. And I've tried to visualize. Some people said, imagine, like you said, you've got a rod that's going through your back of your head, down your
Exactly.
shoulders, and you keep upright.
Yeah.
But I like your one to
Yeah.
try to keep everything in alignment.
Yeah, it makes you a little bit more conscious about the way you stand. And to be honest, the way you stand also tells how confident you are as a person. So, time to fix your posture. So, what causes bad posture? To a small degree, posture can be affected by things outside your control. For example, genetics.
Yep.
Do your parents or family members have bad posture?
Both. My mum won't like me saying this, but she has rounded shoulders like I
Could it
do.
be because of the labour's work that she had when she was younger?
and it's just genetics.
Yeah.
And my shoulders are naturally rounded. When
Okay.
I was a kid, she used to say, "Get your brother off your back." She used to say, that was a big expression.
That's dark.
You look like you've got your brother on your back. Get him
Oh,
off.
boy. All right.
No, it's always been a thing in my family. My
Okay.
grandmother, my mother, myself, yeah.
That's fair, okay? Now, some injuries and medical conditions conditions like scoliosis, for example, can also directly affect your posture and your flexibility. But your posture, then again, is largely dictated by your lifestyle, including how you move, how you spend your time, and the positions that your body is in when you're doing certain activities. Say, for example, maybe just working at your desk, or maybe just, hosting an event in school.
Yep, fair enough.
Okay, so habitual and repetitive movements create muscle imbalances, tightness, or weakness in specific muscles that can pull your body out of alignment. So habits like slouching when sitting or standing, carrying heavy bags unevenly, and prolonged screen time can certainly lead to poor posture. Of course, another factor that we often forget, stress.
Yep.
Stress also gives you really, really bad posture because chronic stress can lead to muscle tension and tightness that affects your posture. So generally, if you want to improve your posture, you have to focus on a few things. Strengthening the core, your back, your shoulder muscles, and stretching the chest, hamstrings, and hip flexors. That sounds like a whole body workout.
It does sound a lot.
But I'm going to keep it simple for you guys, okay? Depending on what's going on in your body, you may need to focus on other things. But I've come up with a couple of 4 different exercises for you to try to help you to fix your posture to a certain extent. But of course, if you feel like, you experience some pain while doing it, it's a good idea to always consult a professional or physical therapist for guidance. But otherwise, here are 4 exercises that you can do to work on your posture. You ready, Neil?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay, if you're out there, maybe you're out on the roads, just listen carefully. But if you're at home listening in, do try it out as well. It's going to be a good one for all of you. And trust me, you'll feel a lot better because I did this myself before I tested.
Or
yeah.
Get the podcast later.
Oh,
so
yeah,
if you're listening in the car, the podcast will be out later so you can do these exercises at home.
For sure. All right, Neil, let's get started. The first exercise that I've got in store for you today is none other than the planks, a good old classic. Now, the planks are great for core and shoulder strength and promote a neutral spine. So what you want to do, extend each leg, balance on the ball of your feet, and lift your knees off the floor to find a plank position. And you want to try to at least use your elbow and your fists to kind of hold yourself down, because if you're constantly just in the push-up position, it might hurt your wrist. So if you're in a position, you want to hold that in that neutral position and try to keep your body in a straight line. You don't want your butt to be sticking up or just slouching down too much, and tighten your core and just engage the different muscles of your front. That would help you to fix your posture quite a fair bit, and I would like you to hold this for at least 15 to 30 seconds to feel the effects. So that is a fairly simple and straightforward exercise. That is something that you can do to try to fix the posture. How do you feel?
Love the plank. It's one of the best core exercises out there.
Good old classic. All right, next one, Neil. This one is called the bird dog. All right, it's known as a yoga pose, I believe. This posture exercise improves your core stability and spinal alignment while stretching the hips and the back. So what you want to do is to start on your hands and your knees with your palms facing on the floor directly. So underneath your shoulders and knees, you want to place your hands underneath your shoulders and knees underneath your hips. Right? So once you're in like a dog position, I would like you to try to engage your core to find a neutral spine and keep your back straight. While maintaining this position, you want to lift your right hand off the floor and extend your arm forward at shoulder height. All right? And your biceps pretty much next to your ear, essentially. At the same time, I would like you to try to extend your left leg back behind at your hip height, flexing your foot with your knees pointing down at the floor. So it feels like you're in a Superman position, but you're actually just alternating your hands and your legs. So right hand to the left leg, you want to lift it up, and then you want to change position, left leg with your right hand lifted up. And you want to hold this position for at least about 10 seconds before you swap it over. So this is what we call the bird dog exercise. Okay, moving on.
Very good.
We've got another variation known as a cat-cow. Now, a cat-cow is a standing position or a standing posture exercise that may help you to loosen up, the tightness in your back, hips, and glutes. Neil, this one is going to feel like you're at a disco club. Okay. I watched this on YouTube, and honestly, it's quite hilarious, but it works, and it really makes you feel a lot better. So you want to stand with your feet about hip width apart with a slight bend in your knees. Then you want to extend your hands in front of you and place them on your thighs. So imagine you're tired from a workout. You got to place your hand on your knees and just bend your knees forward a little bit. all right, and bend forward. Now, in that position, you want to lengthen your neck, bring your chin towards your chest, and round your spine, essentially like a little cat. And you want to round your back as if you're slouching in that position as much as you can. Once you're in this position, then you want to look up, lift your chest, and move your spine in the opposite direction without moving your body. So you're just essentially rounding and going the opposite direction of your back.
Like that.
Yeah, so it feels like you're at a disco club. It looks a little bit weird, but you gotta try to do it slowly, all right, as you're going through the motion, just to feel the stretch from a rounded back to a stretched back. So each position you want to hold at least 5 breaths at a time and continue this movement for a good maybe 10 reps or so. Okay?
Got it.
So it feels a little bit strange, but trust me, this really helps you in 5 minutes. The last one, Neil, this is your favorite. Glute bridges.
Okay.
Glute bridges, it will help you to strengthen and activate your glutes while relieving lower back pain. And it will also help to improve the function and alignment of your hips and pelvis, which in turn leads to better posture. So first things first, you want to lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet about hip distance apart. So once you're in that position, you want to keep your feet about a foot away from your hips. Rest your arms alongside with your body, with your palms facing down. Exhale as you slowly lift your hips towards the sky and straighten your spine. And once your butt is off the ground, you want to try to hold and tighten that position with your core and hold it there for a good 10 seconds before you lower it down and just come to a restful position. So I like you to do this for at least about 10 reps or so, and maybe perhaps you could try it for 5 sets. That would take you about 5 minutes to start to see some improvements in the way you stand and sit.
I like that one. I do that one every day at the moment. Have to.
It's
Try
very
to
good because
stretch out my lower back.
Honestly, Neil, when it comes to posture, I feel like the lower back and your lower body just generally have a lot to do with the way you stand and the way your posture is like. So to just feel better in general, you need to start doing a lot of, lower body exercises and just start stretching the legs so that this will help you to feel less stiff and a lot more flexible. So it's possible to make improvements, but it's important to manage your expectations. It's not going to happen overnight. Continue doing this, every now and then. I suggest doing it perhaps every single day, maybe just before you sleep, because after all, building and maintaining a good posture requires a mix of muscle strength, joint mobility, and overall balance. So stay active, start stretching, make sure you start pulling every single muscle in your body to feel that stretch, to fix that posture, of course, and to start feeling great in your life. That being said, Neil, how do you feel about all the exercises that we've gone through?
Good stretch. I will promise to do these exercises every day. Frankly, my friend, I have no choice.
Okay, you have no choice, Neil.
If I want to stop looking like Quasimodo,
exactly,
I have to do it.
Planks, bird dog, cat-cow, and glute bridges. These are some of the exercises you can try to fix your posture today. And that's all we have for this week's episode of Thank Fitness. It's Friday.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.